thank you to Vio. So my name is Roscoe, and I'm from Sydney, Australia. I've always had a love for storytelling and filmmaking, and I guess this talk is going to be about how I turned that passion into a career in Finland. I'm going to talk about the company I started, and it's not going to be as boring as it sounds. I really hope my failures and success offer some sort of guidance for anyone wanting to do the same. I'm sure people came here today with ideas. Perhaps you're looking for work, or you're wanting to change careers, or maybe you just want to meet some cool people. But if it's okay, I'll just kind of gauge the expectation of the room by maybe talking to some of you. I see a lot of people avoiding eye contact, and that's okay. Can I ask what your name is?
Maria.
Maria? And what brought you to the event, Maria?
What brought me to the event? To have some inspiration.
Inspiration. Okay, cool. And I think you mentioned staying like motivated and stuff. And I have no advice on that. I'm like the least motivated person I know. But I try to be productive, you know. Something I'm going to do is kind of mention some of my favorite books. So at the very least, you'll have that to take away, maybe. I'm going to mention my first book right now. Wait, is that one? Okay, The Artist's Way. Has anyone heard about that? Okay. Oh, you have? Someone has heard of it? No? Okay. I get excited when, okay. So the hardest thing about being creative is being productive, because it just seems like two polar opposite things. And this book gives you like practical advice and exercises on creating daily routines, on how to be creative. And that has nothing to do with being an artist. Like if you're in an IT company, if you're working with mixing cement on a road, there's always creative solutions that you kind of need. And so this totally sparked something that I thought I lost when I was a kid, but I totally recommend this book. Okay, I'll move on. Okay, so I mentioned I grew up in Australia, but my entire family live in Sydney. I'll introduce you to them. Where are you? Oh man. Okay, cool. So that's my family. Big family. Has anyone been to Australia? Yeah? Whoa, awesome. Sydney?
No, I live in Adelaide.
Adelaide, get out of here, Adelaide. No, I'm joking. Adelaide's awesome. My brother works in Adelaide. Where's my brother? Okay, he's not there. Okay, that's right. Sure. Yeah, it's probably in Adelaide. Well, if you go to Sydney, say hello to my family. They're the type of people that would welcome you with open arms. My family was originally from South Africa. I was born in Durban during a very interesting time. I saw the collapse of the apartheid government in 1994, and the positive change brought in by Nelson Mandela was something I think shaped my character. I believe in yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you so much. I believe in change, and I believe in optimism. My mom was a music teacher, and all of this has something to do with the company. It's just like these like important kind of like things that keep on coming back to me. So my mom was a music teacher, and growing up, she always encouraged us to read books.
Was it you, Dad?
That's my mom. No, that's my sister's baby. She likes eating biscuits. Yeah. She encouraged us to read books and learn piano. My mom loved hearing stories, and my dad loved telling stories. I don't think he ever read a book that wasn't a manual about motorcycles, but he could tell a mean story. And I believe stories is what kept my mom and dad together. My family moved to Australia in '96, and my dad started a company in property development. He worked really hard. He would be out the door at 5 a.m., and when he came home, he was covered in cement and exhausted. He literally worked his hands to the bone. He had a missing finger on his right hand from a workplace accident, and what my dad taught me was hard work presents opportunities. My mom and dad worked their entire lives. They continue to do so. And so when I wanted to pursue filmmaking, they didn't really understand how to process that. They wanted to keep me safe, and pursuing a life in art is anything but safe. I genuinely felt embarrassed about bringing it up. I would see my dad come home beat from work, and mentioning film school seemed almost cruel or ridiculous. So I tried doing the university thing, and I couldn't function in a classroom. Even being in this room feels alien to me. But
Should we dance? Make it
it's again with the dancing, man. I think you want to dance. And my grades were not awesome. I tried working the 9-to-5 thing, but I couldn't hold on a job for more than a few months. Some of my friends were just as lost as I was, and others had goals that I couldn't relate to. I heard friends say they wanted to be rich and to make their first $1 million, and I knew I wasn't motivated by money and that I wanted to help in some way. I ended up volunteering as an English teacher in Tajikistan. It turned out to be the longest I've ever held a job, and made me realize I can focus on something if my heart's in it. It introduced me to photography and some amazing people. Did I forget to do this? Oh yeah, so that's Tajikistan. So after working abroad, I traveled and met Ella. Ella organized this presentation, by the way, so thank you to Ella. It was the longest I held a relationship, and once again, it felt like my heart was in the right place. We got married in Thailand, which happened to be exactly 10 hours between Helsinki and Sydney. Slide, please. Hey. And we moved to Finland soon after. Ella studied business management, which comes into play later. Meeting Ella's parents was something I'll never forget. I'll just grab this water.
I was thinking, like, I'm not doing my job right, sir.
No.
Do I need a training?
Yeah. I know everyone's been sitting down for a really long time. If you feel like shaking your legs or something, please, or using the toilet, now is the time to use the toilet while I'm speaking.
What was the blue thing you were all drinking here?
Oh, those are some of the welcome cocktails. It was delicious. It was delicious. But I wanted to mention Ella's mum and dad. I remember one morning, Jana invited me to join her for breakfast. Oh, slide, please. She, that's such a corny image. I love it. She asked me what my interests were, and I mentioned filmmaking. I didn't think she remembered, but she had spent the day circling all the film-related events in the local newspaper. One event was a filmmaking workshop that she insisted I attend. Jana's support is something I'll always be grateful for. The workshop was my introduction to Helsinki's film community, where I met some of my best friends and even had the opportunity to contribute as a board member. Ella's dad is a local hero in Kallio, and he works as a writer. Slide, please. That's Torsti. Torsti, as a young man, worked for Nokia back in the day when the company still made rubber boots. He decided to abandon corporate life to pursue theology and philosophy. Torsti is one of the most interesting people I've ever met. He was born in Kallio and often tells me extraordinary stories. He once mentioned holding his mother's hand near Kallio Church. He was 5 years old, and he remembered the night sky filled with what looked like bright lanterns. Russian planes were dropping parachutes carrying burning haystacks. These torches fell, slowly over the city so the military aircrafts that followed could see what areas to bomb. The places that got hit the heaviest were where we're sitting right now. He said the next morning the neighborhood kids explored the damage, and across the street from us, where the swimming hole is, I think it's just outside that window, there was a crater that cut so deep into the earth that it hit the water table, a hole the size of this room full of groundwater. So Torsty did what most kids would do. He built a toy boat, jumped in the water, and with his friends, pretended to be pirates. Torsty is full of joy and is always happy to laugh at his own jokes, and that's what I love most about him. He has always encouraged me to make videos, and recently was asked to interview the former president of Finland, Tarja Halonen, and insisted that our video company direct the project. We actually shot the video here in Kalliola. On a scale from 1 to 10, like how bored are you right now? No? Is it a strong 8? Okay, I'll try to condense this.
You might be considering becoming a writer or something.
Yeah, am I looking at the page too much? I looked up and I was terrified, so I looked back down. Yeah.
So I don't think many people might be interested in filmmaking.
Yeah.
Like I am, and for me it's probably like 8.6.
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean like
Boredom? 8.6?
no, I mean like
Yeah.
with it's 0
On the- yeah.
and like it's completely like I'm leaving, and 10 is like oh my gosh. So I'm like
Yeah.
8.3, 8.
I like you, man. I feel encouraged. Thank you. Okay, but I will condense this into the company. So, so where was I? Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Okay, I'm going to get to... Okay, after attending an interview at the TE office... Oh, next slide. Hey, there's something that people can relate to. I was enrolled into an integration course. The integration course ended with an internship, and the internship placed me in a video agency where I worked...
Did you choose this or it was by mistake?
Oh, man. See, the thing is, I'm condensing it so much, and it makes my life seem like a cakewalk, but no, they wanted to put me in an internship where I cleaned stairwells in an apartment building. And I said, I think I can do like more than that. I feel like I have potential. And they're like, okay, then why don't you organize your internship? So I just blanket emailed every creative agency in Helsinki, and I heard back from one. So, okay, I'm just gonna blast through this, but trust me, everything I say, it's burdened with a lot of hard work. But I don't want to seem like a bummer, you know, so, okay. Okay, so the video agency that accepted me. So what I did is I observed how the office was run. I watched the production process from client to videographer. I didn't ask you. That was a surprise.
They don't know. I don't know. It
Yeah.
took me a few seconds.
Oh, it stopped? Okay. Hey, thank you so much, Sophie.
I don't know how long ago.
I take back my thank you. No, it's okay.
But that was important to know that you can choose your own internship and how you
Yeah.
did it. So
Has people heard?
really,
Has anyone heard of the integration course?
yeah.
Okay, it's ball breaking, man. It's like it's 8 hours a day, it's 5 days a week, and it goes on for a year. And I mentioned my relationship with classrooms, and I'm sitting there, and I grit my teeth and I get through it. And when I eventually get put into the workplace, which is the goal of the course is like you get whatever you want to get out of anything, right? So when I step into this video agency that I mentioned, the dude's like, hey, we don't even speak Finnish here, we speak Swedish. So I'm like, I don't speak Swedish. And he goes, yeah, but we're trying to be international, so let's speak English. And I'm like, I just spent a year in like confinement. Okay. See, but I'm trying to be positive. It's hard.
Can you come a little bit more? Because
Oh, what?
some people they don't
I was hiding again. Okay. Observing how the office was run. I watched the production process from client to videographer, the relay of feedback, and then the delivery of a final product. I met a lot of industry people, and I made a lot of friends. Oh, book reference. Slide, please. Okay. Has anyone heard of this? Yeah. Okay, it's really good. It has nothing to do with anything I'm talking about, but I recommend it. It's one of those books that kind of, change the way you look at things. Because I think everyone wants to be loved, but then we have this idea of how we should be loved. And sorry, I didn't mean to make eye contact with you, just talking about love. But there was, but it's like,
It's okay, you're married, I see.
yeah. You're safe, don't worry. But the idea of how someone loves you might not be your idea of how you want to be loved. Dude, that was a game changer for me. I didn't understand that until I kind of read this book. Check it out if you want to. Okay, so meanwhile at home, we just had a baby girl. Thanks, dude. Thank you. So I'll step out the way.
You're finding any reason to go behind that pole.
Okay, so meanwhile back at home, we just had a baby girl. And it was the best thing that has ever happened to us. Watching Ella become a mom was beautiful. It seems like so many people, so many of my friends had some kind of family phobia. It's really common today. Friends were like, oh man, you're never gonna sleep again. And did you have to give up on your dreams? And it was so much the opposite. Having kids really motivated me. And that drive affected everything. How I viewed time changed. I remember being able to pick up a game controller and kill a weekend. But watching a person grow up and develop in front of you with her motor skills and growing teeth and having a face and looking up at you, it was so crazy. And I wanted to show her what I built when she's older and be like, this is what I accomplished when you came into the world. I hope that example of following your passion with hard work is something she aspires to do herself. Slide. Cute. During my internship, I noticed many of the videographers were leaving the agency to start their own companies. So I began researching how to do the same, how to start a business in Finland, which led me back to the TE office. Yay! But
Another year in the program.
But this time applying for a startup grant. Has anyone heard of the startup grant? Okay, so the startup grant is a monthly payment for 1 year, which becomes a hard deadline for us, Ella and I, to get a company up and running and capable of supporting our new family. We started a business. We named it after our daughter. Very creative. We contacted a lot of companies via email, offering them amazing deals on video. Our first projects included PR videos for corporations, video CVs for individuals seeking employment, and private events such as weddings. In the first year, we shot for low cost and sometimes free. We attended events and handed out business cards, networking as much as possible. This allowed us to get our name out there and use the material to create a showreel. Slide, Via. Thank you.
I couldn't find you when I needed. I remember I paid 300 euros for a girl that did a video that was like,
oh no.
like I wanted. Now I know the call.
But this is the startup grant, and if you want to find more information, you can go to this link, or you can talk to me outside. Okay, cool. So social media. Okay, so we created the showreel, and it's important for customers to find you easily. Search engine optimization, SEO marketing is crucial for visibility. Instead of spreading ourselves thinly across all the social media platforms, we instead chose one and made a commitment to do that really well. We found a demand for wedding videos, so we joined online groups and made posts introducing ourselves to future couples. 95% of our gigs came through Facebook. Lastly, word of mouth is worth mentioning, as we always go above and beyond our clients' expectations. So much of our work came through recommendations from previous clients. And yeah, I said in the beginning, like when I look around the room, like you people are way smarter than me. I hope many of you go beyond us and do amazing things in Helsinki. If you need a friend or someone to talk to, please come and say hello. And I sincerely wish everyone here the best of luck. So thank you.